Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host Brian.
Good night, buddy.
Back for the amazing race. This is season 37, episode 8, letting the race brain win. See, kept that off the top of my head. Make sure you like and subscribe to here, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We've been covering the amazing race now. It's like 4 or 5 seasons. Cover every episode, except for the last couple where we had some spot misses. But once Logan catches up, Flash Logan, when you're watching this right now, once Logan actually catches up to doing the vlog, we'll go back and record those episodes so he can have them for rolling. If anyone else doesn't know who we're talking about, go check out the Tar Story and blog. Just Google it, you'll find it. All right, cool. Brian, we are still in Bulgaria. Bulgaria, I think, has actually been a really cool location with the cultural stuff. You and I are always kind of big on those.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the challenges were okay. I like that we didn't have something this week. We had an express pass, but we've had those. That's fine. I like that we didn't have to deal with the double U-turn, the votes, anything like that. I did appreciate that we were back to more of like a pure leg.
Yeah. I agree with you because it's like the last week. I mean, we didn't do an episode, but it's just like I'm kind of sick of like just the game kind of taking over, and it's kind of like I mean, I guess it didn't really ruin like a big time team like it did the previous time, but like I don't know. I kind of wish we did talk about it last week because like Nick and Mike like them looking through the hay with just a stick. I thought it was the laziest shit I've ever seen
Yeah,
out of my end to the line.
usually I get mad about the needle in the haystack stuff, but I kind of thought I was like they just like butchered that
Yeah,
challenge.
I think it's so controllable. Like, look at all the other teams that did it, and like, it's just like they're not look. They were the one team that's like, yo, make sure you're looking. They're like taking chunks of hay. Like, it's just like you literally once you split the hay of that, you just move it over there. It can't be in there. It's red. I don't get it. That was the
It's
laziest shit, man.
red.
When they were flicking that stick around, I was like, they deserve to lose. 100% deserve to lose like that. 6 hours, not
Um, I mentioned the only thing we did have was the express pass, a very, very, very easy express pass. This was the walking on fire coals, like you were at Lake Scranton playing, office games with Michael Scott. You literally just had to get there first, and that was it. And that, which was interesting because Brett and Mark, who started the leg first, said, "Nah, screw that. We're just gonna go. We want to just try to take our chances."
hmm
Alyssa and Josiah did choose to do it, and maybe Brian maybe got one of the weirder statements I've ever heard in my life. Josiah has expressed that he's afraid of the hot.
Yeah, she doesn't like hot stuff, which is weird,
But
man.
Brian, but like spice is different than temperature, but not to Josiah.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you do that? I mean, obviously you do it. Whoa, hold on a second now.
Falcons traded in.
Hold on a second,
Oh,
guys. This is a live breaking cut in
live
here. I'm gonna
NFL breaking
filibuster.
news.
I'm gonna filibuster while I wait. Dude, it resets the 10 minute of the picks in. Yeah, so you'll
That's
get a live
funny.
reaction from me here, whether I like throw up or not. But would you do that? Would you like? Is it actually as hot you think it is walking on those coals? Because I mean, yeah, I
No,
know
it's
people
gonna take
do it.
no, no, no. There's no way it's that bad.
It did look like it was too easy.
That was lazy AF, dude. That was a
I
very.
mean,
There
good for
needs to
them
be
though.
risk. There needs to be. No, I'm happy for them in that respect, but there needs to be a little bit more risk reward. I think in that. And I know we just said we don't want it to be too gamey, but remember the race is a game, right?
Yeah.
Like everything that we're used to, these fast pass things, the express pass, like the detours, the roadblocks, all that. That's all fair game. And again, in this season, it just seemed. I know we had a little self travel this episode, but again, that one just seemed like make it in the middle of the leg, like where like depending upon your performance in one of the
Oh, I get what you're saying.
challenges,
Like not off
you
rip.
yeah, not automatically just going to go to one of the top two teams.
I
I
agree.
I
Yeah,
didn't
no, I
love
agree.
that.
I agree with you there, dude. I don't like the way that some of that stuff's been going because it's almost like they're benefiting the players that are doing really well. And I thought like that those things were supposed to like kind of equalize the game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for
But then
sure.
like then at the same time, it's like we don't want to have these like bottleneck resets where they're voting to like the U-turn stuff. We didn't like that the way that turned out because then like everyone just leaves at the same time.
I agree.
Yeah, it's
There
just
was no There wasn't
contradicts
really
ourselves.
there wasn't any bottlenecking this leg really, which I did appreciate for the
No,
most
I
part.
agree. Yeah. Jumping around though,
Um,
one thing just so I want to say in case we don't bring it up. I like the part that like is like, hey, you got to go to this next part, but you can't take a cab. Like I want
no,
more
I have
of
that in
that
there. No
stuff.
taxi,
Yeah.
bus and foot travel was allowed. That was after a few of the route
Mm.
infos. The first route info I know anything about was the Jordan Day Festival. This was pretty straightforward. You just had to go to that festival. They were all out in the river walking. You had to go find a cross. You then gave the cross to the guy and got your next set of route info again. No challenge there per se. I don't mind some of these though, right? I like ones that are sometimes just like, hey, this is a cultural thing. It's a pretty elaborate, but like there's no crazy gamesmanship in it. A pretty straightforward one. No one obviously got held up here. Everyone did it in the order they arrived and knocked it out.
I just wish it was a little harder. Too easy.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of actors.
Maybe not make the cross so like fluorescent, like
The
gold.
golden
Like make it a
cross
little
in the
harder. Like
clear
throw
water.
like a penny in that water.
It could have been just a mix of coins in there, right? Like that could have given it a little bit of a
Just
challenge.
something
Or
like
the
yeah, just yeah, or like there's already crosses in there, and you had to study the cross and then maybe throw it in.
get
Just
this
something
specific
crazy.
cross. Like, it could have been a little bit less of a needle in a haystack than the literal needle in a haystack that was
Just
last week.
it'd been really funny if like another team comes and like, hey, watch your head, and they're throwing another cross in there, and they gotta like move out of the
They're
way.
throwing crosses. Oh God, dude. I don't know if they're trying to do blasphemy on the Amazing Race.
Yeah, that's good.
Below gonna let us know if there's ever been any blasphemy. Um, they then had to go to the Russian Monument Square. This is where they get to go do the basement collect shops. Dude, the collect shops are cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I
I
wish they
never
had that
really
in the
went to
U.S.
like talk
Honestly,
about it, but what?
I wish they had that in the U.S. a little bit. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it was. Oh, okay, all right.
Two edge rushers
That's what
really
they need, man.
talented.
I mean, I can't really be mad. I mean, if they're doing what they should have done
The
like for the last 5 years, and they just
I
threw.
think there were people. I think the Eagles were in the play for him, so that's a nice move.
That means he might be all right. If the Eagles are going for him, that must mean he's all right. So we'll take that. All right.
Brian gets two draft picks already. I haven't had any.
Yeah, it's been a while since I mean honestly, dude, when that I'm actually glad we got that on reaction because I might need to send that to my dad when I edit this. Like just
There
like
you go.
that live reaction of like being, oh my God, like oh, who is it? Because I remember I told you the Eagles were thinking about going back in.
Well, what do you
I
feel
shit
about
my pants
the
there.
haul there, Brian?
Um
They traded their first round draft pick next year.
yeah, I mean if let's see where they land. If they're good, then whatever.
That's
These
two.
people piss me off though, man. This is how you get me mad watching these losers.
Oh God. The basement collect shop was straightforward. You just had to figure out that the number 75 applied to the graffiti door. You opened it up. She passed on. A lot of like non-challenges. Now that I'm realizing this in my notes, Brian.
Yeah.
It's all good. Um, this was where they found out they weren't allowed to use taxis, so you had to self-drive or use the bus. Not a lot of people were fans of trying to use the bus. What I did find funny about the people self-driving again so far this season is no one's just doing, they eventually did later on, but like no one's just going and pulling over and finding a person asking for directions. I used to get mad at that when they did that, but knowing that it's not actually a rule that they can't do it, I get mad at anyone who doesn't do it.
Right. Right.
The common sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you, man. It's just, it, I mean, look. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I'm with you. Like the second, especially like if I had the pressure at this point of the race, I would be like fully. I think what would your threshold be? Like 30 seconds? If you like, you feel like you're going the wrong way, like immediately. Like what?
Yeah, I don't understand these people that drive more than like a mile,
Yeah, like
frankly,
yeah.
without knowing they're going the right way.
Like even Melinda and Erica in the beginning, where they went the completely wrong way for like a long time. Like she's like, "Oh, my map's over." I'm like, I would be like shitting my pants.
We would be like bumping over the thing. Like, I'm not
We're
going to
like
find
going right
an
over the
exit. We're going over
median.
the median. Yeah, dude, seriously, I'm not playing that game. Um, you had the self drive. Like I said, it mostly affected Melissa and Erica the most. Um, I still love Han and Holden. I don't know. They're so funny to me. Like, he's supposed to be this like master navigator, but they never really navigate that well.
I still can't believe they're still in the game. kind of crapped on him a
Probably.
couple weeks ago. I'm like still kind of shocked.
Um, this route brought them to Sophia University for route info, Brian. This is where they this is where they had to do the Cyrillic alphabet. We're going to refer to this as the Skrillex alphabet. You had to use the cipher to decipher the passage in the book, and then give it to the cool librarian dude. He was like the character of the episode for me. I was baffled at how many people just didn't think to flip their damn cipher over. Like big time brain farts.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, man. Study, as soon as
Um,
you look at it, it's not 100% clear. I would be picking up papers, looking at anything I possibly could.
we haven't really talked about this yet, but I could get to this now, Brian. And somebody could even technically led with is the Jackson and was it the Carson and Jack? Yeah, Carson and Jack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carson and Jack. Their comeback, man. I mean, from where they landed by the skin of their teeth last week, right? Going through, getting the needle in the haystack, passing the brothers, and starting in last and working their way gradually through to being in fourth now with what 6 teams remaining. They killed the challenges. They were
Five.
strategic. Five, sorry.
Yeah.
They were strategic. They were. They played like a perfect round.
No, they did really well. And even if it
Um.
didn't, didn't Phil say something at the end, like Melinda and Erica, they like took a taxi?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We didn't get to that part yet,
But
but
I mean, like, what would, I mean, it ended up not mattering, but like,
probably like a time penalty or
that's what we need
something,
Logan
right?
here. What would have happened here? Do they have to redo the
Death,
whole leg? The leg starts where they did it and have to.
death, Brian.
I would have actually liked to see that play out because I would actually like to see what the penalty, like you said, what would the penalty be?
We allow Bulgarian law to take effect, whatever that may be. My buddy's wife's actually from Bulgaria, so it's funny. I should call her. Get what would happen? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Han and Holden, Carson and Jack. Again, this is like Belinda and Erica. It's like this could be called like lost in translation, right? I mean, they've lost this leg multiple times, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
the translation was the ultimate loss.
Like MKTNOKNDT.
Dude, that was like a bot. That was the funniest moment of the episode by far. We were if we were screen grabbing right now for the edit, that's like what I would make our cold open. KNDBNY. It sounds like they're trying to do a password.
I know. It was funny.
Brian, do you want to give the well, real quick too? There was one more. The roadblock was the dancing challenge. Uh,
Oh yeah.
Costumed up. Again, these were very straightforward challenges this week, and nothing where anyone besides those who refused to flip over the plates. Like there was not all not to make a pun here, but there wasn't like a lot of like roadblocks for these challenges outside of your self navigation and some basic common sense. But
Yeah.
this was an easy week,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I didn't think that was like probably one of the more tame dancings that we've seen.
like one that like anybody could have done.
Yeah, you're just like kind of like flicking your legs around, but I'm sure easier said than done as a keyboard warrior over here.
Keyboard racer, we're
Yeah, right.
keyboard racers.
Right.
Um, Brian, what was the order of finish where we stand now? Where we said we're in the final five?
Yep. So we have Brett and Mark getting first, both getting $7,500 each, which I think is a pretty good prize.
Big
Huge
prize.
prize. And it was cash.
Oh, it's so nice.
Cash. Yeah. Uh,
$1,000 in cash money.
yeah. Alyssa and Josiah also have the express pass. They're in second. So I mean I think they're pretty much locked.
I think they said they could use that until the final. We can just use it until the final, I guess, right? You can't use it at the final, but
Like
like
getting
until
it
the
to the
final.
podium. Yeah.
So yeah, they're
Jo-
locking themselves at least a week. If I were them, I would just use it.
yeah, Jonathan and Anna third, Jack and Carson fourth, Han and Holden fifth, and like we said, Melinda and Erica eliminated at sixth place.
I think Belinda and Erica have nothing to be ashamed of, though.
No, I
I
thought they did
mean,
good.
did good. They're the victim of circumstance, the victim of having to have U-turned people last week. Um, an interesting final five, Brian.
Mhm.
I guess what we have two. What does that mean? We got two more episodes.
So it's
Final
episode
four
eight.
teams, or
Oh,
is
I
it the
mean
final
10,
three?
maybe. Um, maybe because Survivor they wouldn't do it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe you're right.
I think I want Carson and Jack to win.
Um,
I think after this leg,
I don't know.
I mean, I think
I really like Brett and Mark. Honestly, I think they're a
I
pretty
like Brett and Mark
solid
too.
team. Like they deserve to win.
They've played a very
Yeah.
consistent game.
And
I wish they
I like
had.
to listen to Josiah too. I think the only one I don't want to win is probably Jonathan and just because he sucks.
I'm not. I hope. I just wish Brett Markers went and grab. You're in first place. Go grab the express pass.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
get it. I don't. That I think could come back to haunt them.
We will see.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Check out our coverage if you're a CBS reality fan. We are covering Survivor. We now have three members of the jury after a good gameplay move last night. Uh, someone was eliminated, and I don't think his girlfriend's going to take him back. Let's just put it that way. Um, check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all the reality guys, whether you're a Bravo fan, CBS fan, Netflix fan, anything fan, we got you outside of OnlyFans. But until next time, for myself and Brian, thank you so much for watching. Peace.